Here's a question that will haunt you. What happens when the last person who knows how to listen to the land disappears? In the forgotten mountains of Tuscany, there are fewer than 200 shepherds left who still practice the old ways. And with them, an entire philosophy of existence is vanishing. By the end of this story, I'll show you the one ritual these shepherds perform at dawn that reveals the secret to why they've survived when everyone else fled to the cities. But first, you need to understand what we've lost. Most people think of Tuscany and picture rolling hills and cypress-lined roads. But drive 2 hours east of Florence and that postcard shatters. This is the Tuscany nobody photographs. And here, the last guardians are fighting a war they're losing. Not against wolves, but against time itself. Most people think of Tuscany and picture rolling hills, cypress-lined roads, and Renaissance paintings come to life. But drive 2 hours east of Florence, into the spine of the Apennines, and that postcard shatters. This is the Tuscany nobody photographs, the Casentino, the Mugello, the Alta Maremma, elevations reaching nearly 7,000 feet, winters that bring 3 feet of snow, summers where the sun bakes the stone so hot you can't touch it. And here, in these brutal, beautiful peaks, the last shepherds are fighting a war they're losing. Not against wolves, not against weather, against time itself. The average age of a shepherd in these mountains is 67 years old. Their children move to Bologna, to Milan, to Rome. The stone houses their grandfathers built, site empty, roofs caving in. In 20 years, maybe less, this will all be memory. But there's something these shepherds know. Something written in their bones and their sheep and their cheese that the modern world desperately needs to remember. And it starts with a philosophy most of us have never heard of. Stay with me. Because what happens next will change how you see not just Tuscany, but your entire relationship with time. Let me tell you about a word you won't find in your Italian phrase book, Custodia. It means stewardship, but not in the bland, corporate way we use that word today. Custodia means something deeper. The understanding that you are not the owner of the land. You are its temporary guardian. Your job is to pass it on, healthier than you found it. And here's the painful irony. In our world of ownership, of property rights, of this is mine, these shepherds, with almost nothing, understand wealth in a way we've completely forgotten. Watch how they repair a wall. No mortar, no blueprints, just Stone chosen by eye, fitted by feel, locked into place by gravity and patience. This wall was first built in 1640. It has been maintained by 17 generations. Each shepherd inherits not just the wall, but the responsibility to teach the next generation how to preserve it. That sound of stones clicking, that's not construction. That's a conversation with the past and with the future. And here's what shocked me when I learned this. These shepherds don't see themselves as poor. They see us rushing through cities, staring at screens as the ones who've lost something essential. But wait until you see where they live during the winter. These structures aren't just huts. They are masterpieces of ancient engineering that defy modern logic. These Kapan shepherds' huts look primitive. One room, no windows, a hole in the roof for smoke. But study them for 5 minutes, and you'll realize you're looking at 500 years of compressed intelligence. See, here's the challenge these mountains present. You need shelter from winds that can knock a grown man off his feet. You need protection from winter storms that bury the peaks in snow. And you need to do all of this without any materials, except what the mountain provides. The walls, 3 feet thick, not for aesthetics, for thermal mass. In winter, the sheep sleep inside, their body heat trapped by the stone, turning the hut into a living furnace. In summer, those same walls stay cool, acting like a natural refrigerator. Listen, the wind is howling outside, but inside, silence. The stone absorbs the sound. It creates a space where you can hear yourself think, where you can even hear the cheese aging. Yes, actually hear the subtle cracking as the rind forms. This isn't primitive architecture. This is genius. They didn't conquer the mountain, they learned its language and built accordingly. No heating bills, no air conditioning, no maintenance for decades. But the true magic isn't just in the walls. It's in what happens over this fire. Because the cheese they make in these huts, it carries a flavor that shouldn't be possible, and a secret ingredient that only the mountain can provide. This is where the magic happens, and I use that word intentionally. Every morning, before dawn, the shepherd milks his flock. The milk is still warm body temperature as he carries it in wooden buckets to the hut. He pours it into a copper cauldron that his grandfather used. He lights a fire beneath it, using oak wood, never pine, because pine would taint the flavor. What happens next is alchemy. He adds rennet, prepared by methods passed down orally, never written. The exact motion of his hand stirring the milk, it matters. Too fast, and you break the protein chains. Too slow, and the curd won't form properly. This is what I mean by time becoming tangible. This cheese pecorino delle montagne takes a minimum of 8 months to age. Some wheels stay here for 3 years. Compare that to our world. We want same-day delivery. We microwave meals engineered to taste like everything and nothing at once. But cut into one of these wheels, Let that ivory paste, dense as marble, crumble on your tongue, and you taste something that Amazon can never sell you. You taste June, when the sheep grazed on wild thyme. You taste the oak smoke. You taste patience. You taste philosophy made edible. But as perfect as this cheese is, it's only one part of a much larger, more brutal cycle. Because in these mountains, you don't dictate the schedule. The seasons do, and the next season is the one every shepherd fears. But here's what makes this life truly foreign to our modern minds. Everything happens in its season, and you cannot rush the seasons. Spring, lambing season. For 6 weeks, the shepherd doesn't sleep more than 3 hours at a time. A fox can kill 20 lambs in one night. His hands, gentle as a midwife's, help difficult births. He names each lamb. He knows which mothers need help nursing. Summer, the transumanza, the migration to high pasture. The flock walks paths first marked 3,000 years ago. These trails aren't on any map. They exist only in the shepherd's memory. Together, those bells create a symphony that tells the entire valley, we are here. The mountain is alive. Autumn, repairing walls before the storms, culling the flock. These decisions are made with the weight of stewardship. Take too many, and next year's flock is weakened. Take too few, and winter feed won't stretch. Winter. Survival. The shepherd and his flock hunker inside the stone hut for months. The only sound is wind, fire, and the slow breathing of animals. This is when he turns the cheese wheels, when he remembers. But don't let the hardship fool you. For those who crave the wild, for the lovers of the untamed earth, this place is nothing short of paradise. There is a reason they stay. Beyond the cold and the long hours, their office is a landscape that has inspired poets for millennia. These are the views that make the back-breaking work feel like a privilege. While the world is trapped in grey cubicles and glowing screens, these shepherds wake up to this. To air so pure, it tastes like a secret. To silence that is only broken by the wind and the symphony of birds. This is the hidden Tuscany. They stay because they understand a truth we often forget, that beauty real, raw, unfiltered beauty is a form of wealth. And in these isolated peaks, they are the richest people on earth. But the ultimate reason they stay, the reason they refuse to trade these peaks for the comforts of the city, is something the modern world has forgotten. Peace. In a society that fears aging, these mountains offer a different path. Here, there is no stress of the clock, no noise of the crowd. Growing old in these isolated valleys isn't about fading away. It's about dying full of life. They choose to spend their final years here because every breath is pure and every view is a masterpiece. To them, this isn't just a workplace, it's a paradise where the soul finds its rest long before the body does. Living here is a reminder that a life well lived isn't measured by what you've gathered, but by the beauty you've witnessed. If you enjoyed discovering this hidden corner of the world and want us to explore more of these breathtaking places together, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you can always travel with us from the comfort of your home. I'm leaving you 2 videos here, one where we explore life in the most beautiful fields of Switzerland, and another where we journey to the Faroe Islands. So I'll see you in the next video.